A little over a year ago, Russia invaded Ukraine. How might this invasion have played out if it had happened in an alternate 2024, where magic was real and Ukraine had access to powerful magical beings known as dragons? In the summer of 2024, Russian troops began to amass near the border of Ukraine. They had good reason to be nervous. Ukrainian intelligence had uncovered a plan for the Russians to invade, and they were prepared to defend their homeland. The Ukrainians had a secret weapon, a massive dragon named Fireball. Fireball was the last of his kind, a descendant of ancient beasts that had been magically preserved in the Carpathian Mountains. He had been awoken from his slumber by Ukrainian wizards and was now ready to defend Ukraine. With a mighty roar, he unleashed a torrent of fire, incinerating the tanks and soldiers in his path. The Russian army was in chaos. Their ranks were thin and their morale was low. Fireball continued his rampage until he reached the capital of Belgorod. Belgorod was a heavily fortified city. He flew into the city and began to burn it to the ground. The Ukrainians had taken control of the city by the time the sun began to set. Fireball had single-handedly defended Ukraine and was now taking a break from the battle to survey the damage. The city was in ruins, but the Ukrainian flag was still flying. Suddenly, a portal opened up in the sky and a squad of Russian superheroes flew out. They had come to rescue their comrades and put an end to this Ukrainian rebellion once and for all. But when they saw the devastation that had been wrought upon Belgorod, they hesitated. They had never seen anything like it. Fireball roared again and charged at the Russian superheroes. He was too powerful for them to resist, and they were soon knocked out of the fight. Fireball then turned his attention to the remaining Russian soldiers. They surrendered immediately, and Fireball allowed them to live, though he did imprison them in the dungeons beneath Belgorod. With the battle over, Fireball flew back to the mountains to rest. He had won the day, but he knew that the fight for Ukraine's freedom was far from over. As the first rays of sunlight hit the ruined city, the Ukrainians began to emerge from their homes. They had survived the night, and now they began to survey the damage. It was then that they noticed something strange in the sky. A single Ukrainian flag was flying above the ruins of Belgorod, and as the wind shifted, they could have sworn they heard the faint roar of a dragon. Okay, maybe I got a little carried away. But what do you think? Would Ukraine be better off if they had a giant fire-breathing dragon on their side? Let me know in the comments below.